too.
Hey, it's Whopper Wednesday. Although some would say, yep, they are not whopping big enough, really. A new class action lawsuit is claiming Burger King inflated the size of their burgers in advertisements. For more on this case, we made our legal analyst come in, 9 News legal analyst Whitney Traylor, and because it's super interesting to us.
Yeah.
And when you hear about these lawsuits, you go, really?
Yeah.
Who are these people that have time to take care of this? But who's involved and where does the case stand right now?
Yeah. And here we are hitting it, the hard-hitting stuff, right?
I know, burgers.
I mean, so no, this is a class action actually that started off with one person, and then I think it's now up to 19 people. There's in 13 different states. So I think they actually filed the lawsuit in 2022. And so the Burger King has been trying to get it dismissed for the past probably since it's been filed. And so there was just a ruling, and so the court dismissed some of the claims but kept some of them as it related to false advertising. So the case can go forward. And the issue behind the case was that the argument that the plaintiffs had was that the burger, see there, that's the ad, and they're saying the burger is actually 35% smaller than the actual ad. And so that must actually be the real, I mean, that thing looks, yeah.
So then they kept buying the burger to go take it into somebody to measure it? And
No,
honestly, that's some work.
Yeah, well, they probably found that out after they filed the lawsuit in terms of an actual 35% size. But yeah, they went in and they said, hey, this isn't what you've advertised. And you're seeing a rise in these because of a number of reasons, social media and everything else.
That's what I said.
Well, I think in my mind, right, I see it both ways. I'm like, okay, is this a money grab? Is this something that could clog the court systems and it's really just a waste of time?
Yeah.
Or, stay with me, could this be precedent? Because I do think of some of those, whether it's like skincare creams, whether it's things that promise that they're gonna erase your wrinkles. When you know, when you look at that photo that it's been photoshopped, where is the line in the sand when it comes to false advertising and what you mentioned earlier during the break, puffery?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and people are asking that. But on one hand, I would say, before I directly answer it, is that we have these laws for reasons. And so even if it seems like the damages are nominal to one of us individually, as a corporation, these are things that we're expecting these people to adhere to. And you raised a great point. Like some of these cases deal with, for example, companies that advertise vanilla in there. There was the Baskin Robbins, and there was no actual vanilla in the thing. And then recently you saw some where it was the bag of chips, and the bag was so big, and it's only, and of course we all hate that. I mean, you can't even figure out which bag has any, right, shrinkflation, yeah. And so that's the argument. But in terms of the advertisement and what you actually rely on, there is something called puffery. And so if somebody said, this is the greatest chip you'll ever try, or the best cup of coffee, you know that's puffing, that's puffery, and you're not going to be held liable for that. But here they're saying it was actually 35% smaller, so they're saying there was an actual factual difference, if you will.
Well, it's not going away. I mean, if I'm Burger King, at this point, I'm paying up and or making the burger bigger.
Kim just wants it to go away.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Right. Well, and that's if it settles, and really in these kind of cases, the individual plaintiffs and the class don't really receive a lot. It's generally the attorneys if there's multi-million-dollar here, but they may go back and change their practices going forward so their advertisement's not the same. And right now, the judge made one distinction and said, if they have an advertisement in dismissing some of the claims, he dismissed one, but he said if the advertisement is on the menu, like if you can see it on the board and that's not an accurate replication, then that's an offer. But otherwise, the advertisements are not really offers, and so we'll see if it goes to.
All right, well, I'm going after eye creams.
Or if we get a rebate on Whoppers, yes.
Thank you, Whitney.
Sure.
Who knows what will come up for you next week? We
I know.
appreciate it.
I'll be ready.
Okay.